There we go. We are live. Welcome to the Lynn Serrano and
Sheryl Isenhour.
We are live. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. How are you doing, Sheryl? I missed you last week.
Doing well. I mean, the convention went on. We got home late 30 on Saturday. So actually, it was good, other than the drive.
Yeah, you went from North Carolina all the way to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we did. Hello,
Yeah.
Rob.
Oh, we already have someone here. Whoops, I'm slacking. Hi, Bob. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. So, how long of a drive was that?
Took us about 12 and a half to get up there because we got caught behind some wrecks, and about 11 to get back.
Ooh, so yeah, it's a hefty drive.
Well, you got to stop me. I mean, you've got about 8.5 hours drive time.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I got to realize when I do go to Florida this time. I got to stop a lot for my legs. So it's like, just makes it for longer. I'm used to just going in there and just driving. So
Ain't no more.
no, I can't do that no more. Which reminds me, you brought up the topic of what do people care about. So, again, these are the things you think of taking a long trip, and you're like, you do start caring about all the hours you're out on the road, and you just want to get there, right?
Yeah. And I mean, there's people care about different things. I mean, some care about themselves a whole lot.
I've known a few people like that.
Some of them care about others and don't care about themselves. I mean, I think you and I both are trying to take better care of ourselves in the other aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was reading some stuff on Ziegler the other day. You know, I'm a coach there, so I'll get emails, and there was one thing that was really impressive, and there were like 5 areas of caring. And we'll start with one and play with it if you want to. And
Sure, absolutely, I'm game.
The first one is care about human potential, and what Ziegler said about that is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care about them.
Right.
And so I thought if this went 1 week, we could do them all 5 in 1 week, or maybe it takes us a little bit of extra time. But I'd like to kind of go over these because to me, that's an important thing. I see so many people think that if you just go to someone, they will buy. And they won't. They've got to realize you care about them, you care about what you're selling them, you care what's it going to do for them. And it makes a huge difference. And also just in human relationships.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because one thing that pisses me off about being on Facebook and having network marketers around, and I say that, hey, I've been a network marketer, but I've also been an affiliate person. And one thing I've noticed is, like, when you get in somebody's DM and you're messing up, hey, I got something to show you, blah, 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 blah. They haven't even freaking looked at your Facebook to see that you've been going through something. You could have been just sick, or a family member died, or a dog died, or something happened. And it's like, you don't even know what you're in the hospital, or, all these different things. And they don't, or it's your birthday and they didn't say happy birthday, but they're trying to sell you. Like, it's like, obviously, I know you don't give a shit about what's going on. That's the most obvious way to know when someone doesn't care, because they go right in for the kill. They don't, hey, how you doing? But hey, I got something for you here. And so, yeah, it really is true that if you can't have a common, connection of, hi, how's it going? How's your family? Blah, blah, blah. You can't have a civil conversation or a connection whatsoever. Where do you think we're just going to go from there right to the sale? I mean, it's just like, you don't go up to the bar and you don't go to the first person and say, hey, let's have sex. That's just not how you come off in a relationship.
Well,
that's such a freaking turn off.
You did it, Lynn.
What's that?
I would have swore that's how you did
it. Oh, hell no. She's not this Yankee.
But the thing about it is, we all especially salespeople, they go at it as like, what is it for me?
Mm,
And you don't care. And it's the same way in personal relationships. I mean, if you've got to kind of show them that you care for them before you can expect it back. And
right.
kind of a two-way street. So
Yeah. Well, and that's the cool thing. Like I'll do all these podcasts and I just meet all these great people and they're like, Lynn, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know yet when I grow up, but they want to support me any way they can because, the relationship I have with them. And that's what means more to me. And it purposefully, I don't try to sell stuff so that I don't get caught up into the propaganda. Now I ain't gonna say I'm never gonna not sell stuff, but that's not my premise of what I'm doing. I'm just, out here doing some podcasts, getting to know people, getting some great connections. But again, when you come out and you don't show that you care about somebody like Theodora, I love her daily. I mean, I try to connect with her, video chat with her at least once a day. I love her. Good morning, beautiful. But it's about building a relationship. It's about knowing that you connect with that person regardless if they can help you or not, but you have that connection. And so again, it's there's one of my brother's best friends, Ron, it's good to see you. My brother that passed away. So my brother, he was all about building relationships and caring about people. You got to care about yourself, but you got to care about people before you expect or demand or think that you can ask them for a sale.
I mean, before somebody can make a sale to me, I need to trust them.
Yeah.
I put that label on there because if you don't like your product, I mean, I can tell if you're just selling it for the process of selling it. I need to know a little bit more. I need to trust the fact that you're doing what it takes for me because I'm trusting whatever you're doing in you.
Right.
And so, I mean, I do my due diligence online, but still there's a point where that emotional trust makes a huge amount of difference.
Oh, it does for sure. And that's the thing I found with network marketing. There's things that when I found out they didn't work for somebody else, I'm like, shit, I ain't selling that. I don't need to make a buck on somebody if it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And then I go next. I mean, again, it's one of those things where if you don't care enough, and if most people, what about the people that sell a product? So do you use it? Nope, can't tell you shit about it.
I'm bad. I read reviews. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go wacky. I know I was talking to a person yesterday that was asking me, actually, it was my dentist, was asking me about a restaurant that Jerry and I went to. And the first time we went, it was really, really good. And Jerry wrote this really nice review. And then under his review, because the second time we went, it wasn't so good. And undoubtedly, it wasn't so good for other people because the reviews got very negative. And so and that's the bad thing about restaurants. The week they open, they're super, but a lot of them tend to go right downhill after that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, like anything, everything's consistent. And just imagine people to understand if your cook's having a shitty day, how good is your food gonna taste?
yeah.
Let's be for real. Attitude is everything. You put that recipe of negative in there and you're eating it, you're just gonna have a disaster. They don't care about you. Or unfortunately, what about the workers that come to work because they're sick? They have no choice.
And
They have
that's
to care.
so bad nowadays.
They have to care about their paycheck, but they're not caring if they get anybody else sick.
And thus everything raises its dirty head again.
Yeah.
But I think that happens a lot. And also, as being an employer, you hate from them is you almost want to test drive the fact that they're okay.
Yeah.
You don't have enough employees to take
Yeah.
care of your customers. So it's a catch-22.
Absolutely.
The restaurant
Absolutely.
or the company's going to lose either way because they're going to have a lack of work of the employee, or they're going to have a sick employee that passes it around, and then you really have a problem.
Yeah, then all of a sudden you got the freaking ambulance at your establishment. They're like, wonder what somebody choked on or got sick on.
Well, we
So,
had a round of COVID at our plant. And the thing is, the one that got it was so asymptomatic, the original, that nobody knew it. And so it, one, two, five of them got it. So it took us a while to get it wheeled back in like we want to, but everybody's well now. I bypassed it. Thank
thank
knock on wood.
God. Yeah, right. Knock on wood.
Probably a better place than knocking on top of this. I'm not sure it's wood.
Yeah, Serrano seem to be hard heads, so that's what we got to do.
I think yours is wood.
Yeah, I'm speaking for myself. I didn't go over to you. Go.
So is that what I do when I want to talk on wood?
Yeah, exactly. But seriously, like you said, caring is all the way around. People either think so much about themselves and they don't think of the ramifications of others, or they think about others so much that they never think about themselves. You can look at that different perspective. You could say a worker that's sick is going and saying, look, people are counting on me. Nobody can come in, and people need to be fed. I mean, they can do it compassionately because they want to do their job and do their job well and show up. Or, it is the paycheck. You never know. You never know. You never know about any of that stuff. But what Ziegler said, people don't know what you don't know until you know that they care. That's really important for people to know. Half the time, all people want you to do is just listen. Shut up and listen.
Show them care.
Show up. Yeah, show them you care by shutting up and listening. I mean, that's what I'm taking from this today.
Same here.
So,
okay.
And what are some of the other topics? I mean, about caring?
Caring about the quality of life, and his statement on that: quality of life equals quality of work.
Yeah, because one day you're doing super good, and you're singing a tune, and you're all happy, and then the next day you're not feeling good, and it's going to show in your work. It's from 1 minute to minute, really. That's not even day to day.
Yeah,
That's
and
moment to
add
moment.
on your personal life also. It's not just work, but it does show up in work. I mean, me and you, when we don't feel good, try to put on a good face on here.
Yeah.
But there's days when you're kind of foggy.
Yeah.
And I have been when I didn't feel real well. And you try to do the best you can for the people that you're talking to. But it comes through. So some days I feel like I just need to get it on and say, okay, I got a head cold today, deal with it. But it shows in the other. So that's one thing, another one I've liked of his. And this next one is the care about purpose. The opposite of depression is not happiness. The opposite of depression is purpose.
I love that. The opposite. Yeah, I like that. I think that should serve its own show.
Yeah.
The opposite. Yeah. We'll have that in our next shows or something. And then what's the other one?
Okay. Caring about growth and goals. Growing people are self-motivated people. Because if you have no motivation, you're not growing. I mean,
yeah, and I think that's why it's so important to use your imagination and keep your thoughts going, because if you get your imagination and your thoughts going, you're not going to want to stay still. You want to catch up to those dreams. You want to do something about them. You don't want to talk about them. You want to do them. So I think that's super, super important.
I mean, the basic thing in doing anything is to get started.
Yeah.
And that's the point. That's the part a lot of people miss. They forget to hit the start button. And they have all these goals. They have all these dreams. They have all these things. But to get them, you got to start. And that's another one of the 6 things.
Yeah. So again, you gotta care all the way around. Like I keep saying is, caring, sharing, caring for everything is something that people bypass. I mean, you don't go to your imagination and not have that thought and not have it go fruition. But then people think these thoughts, and then when things happen and they don't happen the way they wanted it to, it's because they didn't take the actions to make it come to fruition the way they want it to. They get a half-ass thought that comes out half-ass sloppy. It's just like if you make a sloppy recipe and you don't put the right ingredients in. How do you expect that to rise if you don't put the, active agent of yeast or whatever it is, I mean, it's
that's what bothers me a lot of times. People, it's their own fault they don't get where they're going.
Yeah.
But they blame everybody else.
You got to take ownership.
Interiorly.
Yeah. Ownership is, is huge. And that's the part of caring. You got to care about the ownership. You got to care about what you're creating. What we do create shows up in our world. Mm-hmm. And whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, then start changing it little by little. And that's the blessing we have of waking up every day, is doing something a little bit different to see what happens.
Sometimes you don't have to change a whole lot. It's just a little, little bites of things. You can't. I hear people say, "I'm going to change." Hey, you cannot change all at one time and stay there. I mean, you can't even change a habit in less than a couple months.
Right.
Don't give me, I listen to that, well, I'll change. Yeah, right. So usually the ones that boost or brag about it the most never get there.
Love you, Ron. We'll talk soon. Love you. So, but yeah, it's just so true that people just are contemplating things more. It's more contemplation than action, and so you might as well say, what I'm contemplating, that's like, cut the bullshit, and that's just being honest. So what I'm contemplating in my brain, it's basically saying, I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking about, but I don't plan to do any of it.
Don't watch it happen. Just
yeah. Contemplation. Yeah. So I think I would say that to next one. So they go, what I was thinking? I said, you mean contemplating? I'm going to start throwing it. What do you mean? Like, yeah, because you're just contemplating just conversation.
You can think all day long. It's just a matter of doing it. I mean, that's why a lot of times we'll tell people to write stuff down, because if you're just thinking it, it goes away really, really quick.
One thing I like to do a lot is even, I like to achieve something every day, and I'll take a marker board and put things on there. And it's stupid things like, I'm going to take extra garbage out, or I'm going to dejunk something, or and I put it on there because it keeps me accountable. Yeah. It's just not contemplating. It's my first step to achieving. And then, and I don't like to use the eraser to erase it until it's completed.
Maybe we need 2 pages: contemplating, planning on doing.
So to me, it's one of the same, but yeah, I agree. That's a 2-step process there. So
anyway, you can take it from thinking about it to writing it on your contemplating, take it off your contemplating, put it onto your doing, and then erase it if you ever get to it.
Yeah, no, and I like at the end of the day, I do like my marker board to be clear from all the tasks that I set out to do. But it is true. I know I'm very careful of writing what I need to do, because the minute I write it, it's got to be done. So that's, that's keeping myself personally accountable. And so then, and I've got I got a marker board this way, I got a marker board this way, and I got the big one. Whatever it takes.
Doing a whole wall in my office. Literally, you can buy the things at Lowe's or wherever. They're the big panel boards. Write on things. I've seen a lot of them where a lot of people gather to do work. It's like a whole wall. And I am highly contemplating doing this wall like that. Because then you can just write and just keep on going.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like is with the eraser board, sometimes it's like if you just move it the wrong way and rub it the wrong way, it's gone, because it's just an easy marker board. So it's not magic marker. So anyways, success requires ready, aim, fire. Jerry. Yes, it does. And that's ready. I get the marker board. Set. I write it down. Fire is doing it. So yes, I agree.
So many people.
Love you, Jerry.
Aim.
Yeah.
And if they're lucky, they fire.
Yeah, exactly. I was out shooting on Sunday. I aimed and got it fired right away, the first hit. And after that, I went downhill. But I got it first shot. Anyways, we've stayed on here too long.
Okay.
Thank you so much for anything to wrap it up with, Sheryl.
No, I think maybe, like I say, if anybody has anything to add to this list, I think it would be really good, because I think these topics can go on, the things that work within ourselves to work with others. So I just throw out the offer to anybody that has something they'd like to add on to this list that we're working with, not just contemplate it. Send it
Yeah,
on.
right. Yeah.
I think it'd make a good topic.
Yep. Yep. Yep, that's right. Too much talking, not enough doing. That's the thing. You gotta light your fire. Be motivated and find a purpose of doing what you want to do. And the urgency of getting it done is sooner than later. So we don't have all the time we think we do in this world. So you guys, thank you so much. As always, Sheryl, I love you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm glad that we'll be back next Wednesday, God willing. And so to everyone, have a happy hump day. And just have a great day.
See you then.
Yeah, see you then.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall